This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 8 o'clock on Wednesday the 13th of July. Good morning, this is Tina Dahealy. Conservative MPs will get their first chance to vote for one of the 8 candidates hoping to succeed Boris Johnson today. A state of emergency has been declared in Sri Lanka after the president fled the country this morning. And after years of being battered in the North Sea, a decommissioned gas platform is getting a new lease of life in Somerset. Conservative MPs will today have their first chance to vote for which of the 8 candidates they want to replace Boris Johnson as the party's leader and Prime Minister. After nominations for the contest closed yesterday evening, the leadership hopefuls took part in a hustings event to try to secure support from their colleagues. Here's our political correspondent Ione Wells.
There are 8 people who can be the next Conservative Party leader and Prime Minister by early September. Last night, one by one, they filed into a crammed, sweltering room in Parliament to make their pitch to colleagues for 12 minutes each. Today, that support will be put to the test. The contenders will need to secure at least 30 votes from Tory MPs to get through to the next round. Subsequent rounds will follow, eliminating the person with the fewest votes until 2 remain. They will be put to the Tory party membership for a vote. Candidates are acutely aware they need to therefore appeal not just to Tory MPs but to the members.
Business groups have written an open letter urging Conservative leadership candidates to commit themselves to environmental policies pursued by Boris Johnson's government. Concerns have been raised that the next Prime Minister might pause or even shelve climate change policies because of the cost of living crisis. One of those who signed the letter is Stephen Rowett, the CEO of the lighting company Signify UK and Ireland. He says there are positive benefits from sticking to the government's 10-point plan to achieve net zero.
We've seen firsthand investment in energy efficiency, low carbon infrastructure technology. It delivers huge benefits for our economy and can have a positive impact for businesses and households. There's really 2 things. For the government, substantial economic benefits. You've got job creation, increased exports, geographically dispersed growth, and improved air quality. With the 10-point plan, since it's been launched, over 56,000 jobs have been created in clean industries.
The UK economy grew more than expected last month. Figures from the Office for National Statistics show that GDP increased by 0.5% in May after a drop of 0.2% in April. The Sri Lankan Prime Minister has declared a state of emergency across the country. The President, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, has this morning fled to Mauritius following days of intense protests and is expected to formally resign today. He's been blamed for the dire economic crisis in the country, which has left people without fuel and short of food. Our correspondent Archana Shukla said news that the President had left was greeted with cheers on the streets of Colombo.
This is something that the protesters had been demanding for a long time. It leads now to the next development, which would be the formal resignation of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. That will put the country on a stand to look forward to a new political era and a new political movement in the country.
A study has found that giving teenagers mindfulness lessons at schools is largely a waste of time. The practice is meant to boost well-being by encouraging people to live in the moment, but the research suggests it did little to help pupils' mental health. Our health reporter Michelle Roberts has more.
Mindfulness is a technique designed to boost well-being by getting people to meditate and actively focus on the present and stop fretting over past or future events. But the results of a big new study suggest adding it to the curriculum does little for teenage pupils. Hundreds of teachers and thousands of students at 85 different secondary schools took part in the experiment. Few pupils found the mindfulness lessons useful, and many called them boring. While they may still help some, offering the lessons universally at schools is unwise, say the researchers.
A former North Sea gas platform is being towed into North Somerset this morning to be turned into a huge artwork. The sea monster is being relocated to the site of a former Lido and will feature gardens, an amphitheatre and a waterfall. It's hoped the free experience, which opens late next month, will demonstrate how industrial structures can be reimagined. Patrick O'Mahony is the creative director of New Substance, the design studio behind the project.
People will be able to go on board, explore it from the beach, explore it from inside here at the Tropicana and go on itself. It's like a rehabilitation. It spent its life taking from the earth and it's time to give back. And our gardens, our solar, our renewable energy is all part of that transformation.
The weather, sunny spells and scattered showers in the north, mostly sunny and warm for southern areas, but cloudier with the odd spot of rain in the far south. Very warm in the far southeast, with top temperatures of 19 Celsius in Edinburgh and Belfast, 25 in Cardiff and 30 in London. That's the BBC News at exactly 8:05.
Oh my goodness me, 30 in London. Don't forget there is that heat health alert for London, the southeast and east of England today. Make sure you're staying safe and do check on anyone who's vulnerable. Thanks, Tina.
BBC Radio 2. Listen live on the BBC Sounds app. The Zoe Ball Breakfast Show.
Good morning, wacky racers. How are we all this morning? Penelope pit stop here in the Anthill Mob. 2 days until this year's BBC Proms season starts. I do love the proms. 12 days until R. Ritchie carries the Queen's baton for the Commonwealth Games. I'm hoping he's got his outfit sorted out. He's so excited. 15 days until the Commonwealth Games begins and 66 days until Radio 2 live in Leeds. If you haven't got your tickets yet, come on, what are you doing? bbc.co.uk/Radio 2 Live. We cannot wait to see you there. Coming up, the elves have some answers to the blowing on your hand query from Tristan and his mum Vanessa. If you have any information or ideas, 88 291, do let us know.